All right, folks, we got a loaded Monday for you as we will talk NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. There may be a playmaker in the midst. There may be a quiet.
I'm sorry. I'll just say it like this. I'd like to begin with the following statement. You're about to witness the strength of sports knowledge.
A, thanks for making me feel old, and B, thank you for the compliment. And you are indeed about to witness the strength of sports knowledge, as only we can bring it to you. Season 12 rolls on right now.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up. I got to thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Because we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
You ready, partner?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Good morning and welcome to the Manic Monday. Yes, I'm fighting the cold edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. A ton to get to today. A ton. Playoffs have started in the NBA. Playoffs have started in the NHL. And I apologize to Jordan in advance. We'll have him up here in a minute. Dietz is standing by. Jay Spivey will be with us a little later.
Okay.
There might, and I stress the word might, be a playmaker appearance today, considering the fact his Orlando Magic had the win of the weekend. A little something I'm creating here. A little win of the weekend belongs to the Orlando Magic as they went into Detroit and spanked them by 11.
The Orlando Magic in the playoffs. Do away with that. Do away with it.
That may need to become a thing. Let's look in the Fanatics feedback zone very quickly. Zakia McCoy joins us. Zakia, where are you checking in from so we can shout you out properly? Napoleon Johnamite with us saying, how bad are the cuteness withdrawals today?
Very bad.
No comment.
Very bad.
No comment. And Napoleon borrows from you. If there was one word to sum up the A's pitching this weekend.
Trays.
Sorry, Napoleon.
I'm not. Sox took 2 of 3 from the Oakland A's. Should have been all 3, but we can't stop walking anybody, especially when you have Max bleeping Muncy, a 2-time World Series champion, walk it off for them on Saturday in the 11th inning. But in a place, Northern California, that gives us a lot of pain, just like Minnesota, just like Kansas City, and a few other places,
Milwaukee,
Sox had 2 of 3. Milwaukee being another, Miami being another. But the Sox got 2 of 3 from the Athletics this weekend. So I am very happy about that. But we're going to begin with the NBA playoffs. Sorry, couldn't help it. And to help us with that, there's a royal waiting for us. Who's a royal? I can't even make that joke.
You can't. The winger, the sniper, everything but the goalie. It's Droid.
Why are you? It looks like you're not in a good mood today, even though you're sporting all Royals today.
No, this is not Royals. This is Habs. All right? This is Canadians.
I'm talking about your jersey, you fool.
I will say this.
Okay, the jersey is the Royals.
I will say this. Droid's
Jack Caglione jersey.
Droid's rant last week was legendary.
Which one?
Legendary.
Which one?
Which one was it? The what is the soccer
Sporting
team?
KC.
Sporting
KC.
I was like, and we're Sporting KC. So
That's the thing now.
Listen, I'll help out Napoleon. Listen. Napoleon, your pitching did this. They woke up this morning, got into the kitchen. Live demonstration, people. Grabbed a cup. Grabbed the milk.
Oh, God. He's doing the whole thing.
Poured themselves a nice glass of milk and put the cup in the fridge. And don't forget the cherry on top.
Put the
milk in the cupboard.
In the cupboard.
That is what the Sacramento Athletics have done.
I will say this: that is still more serviceable than. Never mind.
I said we'd begin with the NBA playoffs, and
I don't want to talk about it.
We're gonna have to, but
because here's the thing: an hour before game time, we were informed as Rockets fans that Kevin Durant was out,
and then he came back.
I'm sorry, what? And then it said right knee contusion, which I understand can happen.
Oof.
But now we're before game time? I don't know. That seems a bit suspicious to me.
Right?
To me, it seems like Kevin Durant is giving up on this Rockets team. You remember what he said about Jabari Smith?
Mm-hmm. You want me to be totally honest, Droid?
Kevin Durant's giving up. We've
the
seen
Rockets
that before.
And honestly, I don't even want us to win the championship at this point. I don't want to give KD nothing. You walk into Houston, you leave with nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Go ahead and take it, Joy. The floor is yours. Go ahead and take it.
Listen, management messed up when we didn't sign a point guard because we don't have Fred VanVleet.
You've been preaching that all year.
So we don't have a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
What if they're calling the Slim Reaper ain't so Reaper anymore? He's just slim.
Right.
Yep.
Gets injured an hour before the game. Ahmed Thompson can't shoot. Reed Shepard, don't even get me started on you, sir. You're trying to be the coldest white boy in the NBA. You got nothing on Austin Reeves, all right?
No, you got nothing on Larry Bird. Forget all of that noise, but go on.
Coldest white boy right now. You're not Luka. You're not Austin, all right? You're not Jokic.
Definitely not Jokic. No.
You know what? I got to step outside for this one. Hold on.
He's had enough today.
He's
I got to
done.
step outside for this one.
Okay.
It is honestly ridiculous how many times I have preached the same three things.
One.
Point guard.
Point guards. We need shooters. We need people who can actually shoot the ball and make it into the net.
Mm-hmm.
We also need a guy that has a post.
Yep.
Somebody who could just do a little ooh, boom. It's not that hard.
And
you can teach a power forward that in a day.
And according to what I saw in game 1, unfortunately, it ain't Alfred Şengün.
I love Şengün. All right, I love Şengün with that to the bottom of my heart. One of the best centers in the league right now. He's not the best, but he's one of.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm starting to agree with KD on Jabari Smith Jr. Because what in the world was that?
It's called Welcome to the Playoffs.
This is supposed to be the playoffs, not the play-in. You're not facing some 7th seed Warriors. You're not facing an 8th seed Hornets.
True.
You're facing the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't get swept by the Lakers. Please.
17 chips. How many championships do we have? 2. And the last time we won a championship or even went to the final was when Hakeem Olajuwon was still here.
1995.
Doing his business in Houston.
1995. Against, oddly enough.
I hate to say this. I miss watching James Harden on the Rockets. I miss watching Russell Westbrook on the Rockets. Because at least when they got to Houston, they did something. KD, you are an former OKC Thunder. 2 other former OKC Thunders went to Houston before you, and they still have done more than you have.
Not gonna lie, I do kind of miss Russell
No
Westbrook
argument.
in OKC. I'm not gonna lie, I do miss Westbrook in OKC.
Listen, COVID Russ was a demon, and you can't deny that. 2020 Russ with the whole weird jerseys where the names arched for some reason. Yeah. That was good Russ.
Mm-hmm.
Russ
and I hate to see him in Denver now. And honestly, I would happily have Russell Westbrook back. I said it. I would happily have Russell Westbrook back in Houston. Because at least he's not KD. There's your graphic. At least he's not KD.
You know what? There's a few. You know what? There's a few I can make with that. But continue, sir. I'm loving this. I'm loving it.
It is you.
We went into this game as the favorite. I will tell you, through multiple sports books, we are the favorites to win this series. Why? I don't know.
But when you and I have,
what do we lack? A shooter. What do the Lakers have? A shooter.
Yeah.
2 of them, actually, Luka and Austin.
And Austin Reeves.
We don't have a post move. What do the Lakers have? Rui Hachimura.
Several post moves.
We don't have dunking. What do the Lakers have?
A lot of dunk.
We lack so much, and it's frustrating because I've been a fan of this team for so long. I've been a fan of this team since 2014. Do you know how I became a Rockets fan? Because of 2K14. When I faced off in James Harden in the NBA Finals in my career, I fell in love with the Rockets.
That's how you fell in love with the Rockets.
Yes, it was. NBA 2K14, one of the last best 2Ks to ever be created, next to 2K16, was the reason I fell in love with the Rockets.
I'll admit, I stopped after 2K12.
I can't offer an opinion. I can't offer an opinion because I've never played it. But go on.
And look at this. Look at this, Houston. You see what this is called? A beautiful day. Don't you ruin it tonight. All right? You better take game 2. Because you see this beautiful green? I love it. And I don't want you to ruin it. The Panthers already ruined my season.
Oh.
The Royals are already making this season worse by getting swept by the Yankees.
Oh.
Jakob Dobesh is the only thing making me happy right now. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use a closing sentence that we use every Wednesday. Now get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
Boom, boom. Boom.
I think on that we need to take a break.
Please. I can't follow up on that.
I can't
follow up on that.
More on the NBA playoffs, including the upset in Detroit, which I will get into, and much more on this Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. We're back in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central. On the Sertoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers, right side, commanders. Where my soldiers, left side, commanders.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm on Alarm Island. Give me them cocks!
Okay.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
And no dog, you will never let us down.
19 after the hour. We'll bring Droid back up in a moment, but let's go to the Fanatics feedback zone. As mentioned, Napoleon and Zakia McCoy broke the seal. I know, Napoleon. I realized it when I went to break talking about the wrong Max Muncy. I just saw Max Muncy and my brain went upside down.
You saw
Speaking of
Max Crosby.
Yes, absolutely. Ryan McCarthy is with us, and he says to Droid, come join us on the misery couch. And of course, the cute Empress herself is with us today.
The cute Empress of cute Empresses.
And when she greets us, and sometimes you just want to hear her say,
"Now get out of my face, you thirsty cheers."
Well, she's gonna throw a couch at me.
No, she's gonna throw a couch at me with what I got in mind. Especially when she says
Chapel Bill now,
which of course is Playmaker's line. McCarthy says, I thought this was Snowman in the morning. Right now it's Droid in the daytime. Well, when he got started talking about his Rockets, I gave him the floor.
He was gonna let loose.
Genevieve says, I listened to all of that while inputting invoices, and she hasn't stopped laughing yet.
Nope.
Oh, listen, I know I'm going to get a couch thrown at me when I do this, but I have a message for you, Genevieve, and it sounds like this.
Boat goes vintage, Genevieve-oso.
I'm going to get yelled at.
Yes, you are.
The upset, as we're inside the NBA playoffs,
Right.
We got NHL playoffs to talk about. What happened in Detroit?
I have no idea.
I'll tell you, Paolo Banchero happened in Detroit. Paolo Banchero spit that dog. I mean, I've heard all the doubts about, the Magic all year long.
And a lot of it came, I will admit, a lot of it came from me. Then he went into Detroit and dropped 23 points. Orlando led that game from minute one, and they won game. They snatched game one from the top seed in the East. 112-101 was the final score in that one. Paolo Banchero did everything.
Very even score.
Well, also, you got to credit Franz Wagner, too. He did a lot that game. It may not appear on the stat sheet, but he definitely did a lot that game.
Actually, it does show on the stat sheet. 7
it does.
Floor, one of 2 from 3, 4 or 5 from the free throw line. All in all, 32 minutes and 19 points. They were doing the wrong thing. The whole team.
35 points in the first quarter for Orlando, and they offset 39 from Cade Cunningham. It was Cade Cunningham. Listen, we talk about team efforts.
Yeah.
Do we not? We talk about team efforts all the time. Last night in Detroit, it was Cade Cunningham and no one else.
Right. It's Cade.
I think the problem was, you needed Jalen Duren to step up. He's that big man. He's supposed to play the big man. He's supposed to be the guy that stops Franz Wagner. But no, did he stop Franz Wagner?
Not a chance.
How many points did Duren get?
Looking at that right now as we do a little live research. He finished. Thank you, Lewis Black Jr. Hey, you curse.
Right.
Listen, this reads this Pistons box score, and I never thought I would make this comparison again. And Victor, you've heard me make it several times. This box score reads like an old Bulls box score from the 80s.
Right.
And I'm not going to mention names. I'm just going to go down the list of the starters here. 17, 9, 8, 39. And we all know who got 39. And 8. You. Never mind.
People got 8.
People got
No,
8.
you're telling me. It's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Because the thing is, Detroit, when it comes to the playoffs, they choke.
Yep.
And you know what makes it so bad for Detroit?
Like the Raiders. They choke. I'm sorry, Napoleon.
I'm not. And
I'm sorry.
I know Deb's gonna hit. Listen, I know Deb's gonna hit me for this, but they're like the Philadelphia Eagles this past year.
Philadelphia Phillies this year.
You know what? The Philadelphia Phillies are done. We'll talk more about that in the second hour. But I bring up this comparison to an old Bulls box score when they faced the Detroit Pistons. You'd see something like 11, 7, 8, 7, and 46. And we all know who got 46 in that game.
Right.
This is how this box score reads. This is how this box score reads. Every game on Sunday was decided by double digits. And I got a friend, if y'all do not follow Football Nation on YouTube, I suggest you do, because he tells the truth with everything that's going on, like we do here. Every game, yes.
Fool that came out of Memphis, Brian?
Who are we talking about?
On the Magic, there's this one fool that got traded to Orlando from Memphis. I forget his name. Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bain.
So if I'm looking at just from the box score, it looks like it's Cunningham, then it's Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. Yep. Cunningham was the only one
starting for the Detroit Pistons. Ben Simmons.
Right.
It's like, I just make that comparison to that box score I read in 1989. At least in that one, it produced a win. This one, and I need to get this up here. Deeds is having trouble with his browser again. We don't know what's going on. I've had the same kind of trouble. We'll try to get him up here. But with that kind of box score and that kind of lack of balance, but see, here's a comparison. Before my other say, every starter for the Orlando Magic was in double figures. Boncaro had 23, Franz Wagner 19, Wendell Carter Jr., former Bull, had 17, Desmond Bane had 17, and Jalen Suggs had 16. But they only played 4 off the bench. Well, when your starters get out to an 18-5 lead,
right,
they were in cruise control the entire way. Now, Detroit did come back and they got within a bucket several times during the game.
During the broadcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you really want to call that game?
You know what? I looked at that game. My wife looked at that game and she asked me the same question.
Glass.
Because I flirted with it because as I said all year, the top seed was the Detroit Pistons. Then the Orlando Magic show up and they do this.
Can't do it.
Glad I walked away when I did.
Can't do it.
Glad I walked away when I did. And the Detroit Pistons, once upon a time, couldn't be beat at home. Now everybody beats them at home well, let me refresh my sentence. The Detroit Pistons, once upon a time, couldn't be beat at home in the playoffs, whether it be in the Silverdome or the Palace of Auburn Hills. Now they can't win at home at all.
No.
Even with being the top seed.
No.
Game two Tuesday night. What started that Sunday was an old rivalry that ain't such a rivalry anymore.
Oh my God.
Once upon a time, one of my favorite playoff rivalries was the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. Why all the star power?
Some tells me dog is drunk after celebrating.
Now you have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and no one else. And I mean no one else on the floor that could compete with them, because the Boston Celtics hung 123 points on the 76ers yesterday.
And again, let's just listen. You got Oubre Jr. with 10, George with 17.
Yep.
We know
Paul,
what Max is going to do. We know Max.
You know what? I don't know if I have it up here. I'll work on getting it up here. It got to a point after the first quarter. Usually you get this reaction from me at the end of the first half, or at least midway through the third quarter. I had it and I lost it. And Victor, you moved things around in my truck again. No, I'm kidding. I found it. It got to a point yesterday in Boston where I walked away and said,
"We do not care."
Got to feel that way for this series. You got to feel that way for this series, because unless Philadelphia has a miracle in them, they're going to get swept by the Celtics again in the playoffs.
And I'll say this
is ridiculous.
This is a little more even scoring than the other game, the Pistons game, because at least only one guy, which was Bono, was out of double digits. But again, you go back to the Celtics, 25, 12, 13, 10, 26 points.
Jaylen Brown. And then you got Peyton Pritchard off the bench with a dozen.
I'm like, good grief.
And Detroit's the number 1 seed. Not the way they played yesterday, and not according to this box score I'm reading from game 1 on Sunday.
I feel like John Cena, Detroit is the number 1 seed. Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? Absolutely. No, even better. To honor Cole Johnson, Detroit's the number 1 seed.
You tripping.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Thank you. I went another way, but Detroit, the number 1 seed.
That's a lie.
And us not having cuteness withdrawals.
That's a lie.
Yes, indeed.
I had to slip that one in. But 51 points from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Philadelphia scored 46 in the first half as a team.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
I'm sorry, but there's no chance for Philadelphia to win a single freaking game in this series. None.
I don't know what's going on defensively, but they didn't have it this past game at all. There was no defense to be had in that game.
None whatsoever.
And the supposed savior is not playing. So what they gonna do now?
Listen, this Celtics Sixers series is over. Period. I'm saying, look, if I'm premature in saying it, so be it. But after what I saw yesterday, and I only watched 5 minutes.
I'll say it is only the first game.
Listen, let me say this in a way that Dietz would say it. And Dietz, I hope you're proud of me for doing it this way. Sixers taking the floor against the Celtics, throws to Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Even better. Sixers compete with the Celtics in this series. Who told this lie?
Right.
And then you got what Oklahoma City did to Phoenix. I don't want to even discuss that game.
No, don't.
And then you have what my pick to win the NBA World Championship did to the Portland Trail Blazers last night. And I'm talking about the San Antonio Spurs.
The Spurs look like the Spurs.
111 to 98. They too led from minute one.
Another high scoring game that I'm pretty sure Snowman's not going to want to hear about, which is Raptors falling to, of all teams,
I don't want to hear it.
Cleveland.
The Cleveland Cadavers. I'm looking at Sunday's games. Victor Wembanyama for the Spurs, 35 points.
And we're the Cleveland Cavs.
We're the Cleveland. I'll say it better. Give me this camera. Give me this camera. And we're the Cleveland Cadavers.
I will say this.
I will forever say Cleveland Cadavers because someone said it to me a long time ago.
I know it's the Trailblazers. I know it's Portland, but if this game is any indication, Wemby is coming to his own real fast.
Honestly, I do like the Trailblazers. I think they're really good competition for the Spurs.
No, they're not. They're going to get swept.
I'm going to say, well, even if they get swept, it's still.
Listen, that's coming from somebody who literally says the NBA, quote unquote.
True. But I'm just saying,
I got a lot to say about the NBA. Yeah, listen, Wemby, I will say this again, and I will use this story. Wemby made a liar out of me. 3 years ago, when I went to see him play the Spurs play the Indiana Pacers, and a shout out to one of my dearest friends, and Bill Schoenig, who was the voice of the Spurs at the time. He has since retired. I wanted to see what the hype was about Victor Wembanyama.
Right.
Boy, did I see it that night and then some. Because I kidded around about Victor Wembanyama a lot. My only knock that was on Victor Wembanyama at the time is that he needed more strength, because I know what the Spurs do. They love to punch you in the mouth inside.
Right. He was a little too skinny.
Then I saw this kid.
And everything changed.
Then I saw this kid. And all that prevalent thought went out the door like any home run that happened this past week. That went out the door like Munetaka Murakami's grand slam in Oakland on Friday night.
Oh.
Which was killed. More on that later.
Quote. But I still got some musings about the Sox.
You and me both.
Go.
That'll be the second hour. That'll be the second hour. You know what? Dear Toronto, I love you, but I mean, dear Toronto Raptors. Oops.
Oh.
Toronto messed that up. Toronto was supposed to do all of us real NBA fans a favor and take care of Cleveland and have them say, and we're the Cleveland Browns. Yes, I purposely said Cleveland Browns. I know I messed it up, but it's a purpose. Not after what I saw. Not after what the hell I saw. And Toronto had chance after chance after chance after chance in that game. Chance after chance. And they blew it.
Yep.
And wound up losing by 13. There was not a close game from what I'm seeing so far in this first round of the NBA. And I know it's game one all over the place. I get it. But every game that I've read was decided by double digits. And my buddy Mario at Football Nation said it best. And the NBA wonders why they're losing fans and they're losing viewers.
Yep.
It's pretty freaking predictable. You know something? We're going to take a break, come back. I got a Snowman's take about the NBA that a lot of people won't like, and I don't care. And at the top of the hour, Victor and I both have musings about our White Sox. Yes, they took 2 of 3 in Oakland. Yes, they split in Kansas City, but it should have been a much better result for 2 big reasons. We'll get into all of that. Take a break. When we come back, me and the NBA are going to have a fight.
We're going to fight.
We're not going to talk. We're not going to muse. We're not going to shadow box. We're going to fight when y'all get back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
'Cause we take this job so serious.
I don't have a suggestion as to anything but keep the bitch. Keep her. If she does not
Wow. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
That was the birth of Mike Drop Moran.
And yes, indeed. 41 after the hour, and dear NBA, I have a few things to say about you. Give me this camera. I had so many people ask me this past weekend why I haven't done an NBA game since January when I did the Bucks and the Bulls.
Right.
It's pretty simple. The product right now sucks.
Yeah.
The product drives people away. The product drives old farts like me far, far away.
Here's the problem. The NBA wanted to drive old farts like you away.
Yes, they did.
Thinking that they were going to be able to supplement that with newer fans. That has not happened.
That will not happen. This, Android, this is nothing against you. This is nothing against you. In fact, you are excluded from my next sentence. That includes the 2K fans. Let me change that word. That includes the 2K community.
Well, here's the problem. Most of the 2K fans, because I'm not into like the PvP aspect, but just the people who I used to talk to, they made like their own teams, and they would get like old school guys like again Moses Malone and Pistol Pete Maravich, and had the same team with Michael Jordan and Kobe and
Right.
KD and all that. So
Right.
it's not all bad. Here's my problem with the NBA currently. It's soft.
I'm sorry. Would you use that word again, please? I could have swore you said something I've been saying for 20 years, and that the NBA is soft.
It's SAWFT soft. You want to know how? Back in the day in the 90s, there was a little thing called hand checking.
Let me also bring up this point. There's an F word that's been lacking in the NBA recently.
Oh God!
How dare you cuss on my show with the word fundamentals?
He's gonna say it.
KD lacks fundamentals. Reed Shepard lacks. No, I'm kidding.
You ain't wrong.
I ain't going back there.
So
there is no lie with that statement. None.
Please continue, because I'll go into some random music on that, and I don't want to right now.
Now, even this camera again.
Take it.
Every game in the NBA playoffs so far, all game ones have been decided by double digits. And I piggyback off of my friend Mario at Football Nation. I would love for y'all to check that channel out. And the NBA wonders why the fans are leaving. And the NBA wonders why the fans are getting the hell out and staying out. And the NBA wonders why fans are tuning out. Part of that problem is the lack of regional networks. And Victor and I talked about this last week.
Lack of availability.
The lack of availability, either in person or via broadcast, is astounding. Because even when the Bulls were in their heyday, guess what it took? It took a team being built to be champions.
The crazy thing is,
Or
out of all the games in the first round of the playoffs, all of them have had at least one team get 100 points.
Mm-hmm.
One been past 120. I'm going to give the NBA a little bit of nugget of knowledge. Just because someone goes over 100 points does not mean it's exciting basketball.
Boston Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers, anyone? 123-91.
Just because someone scores 100 points does not mean, oh my God, it's the greatest game ever. No.
I mean, you can always say, you can always say, well, we expected that result with Philadelphia and Boston. Yeah. It's so very true, given the fact that Philadelphia has cratered and Boston has risen. I totally get that. I totally understand that. But look at the totality of the game, just all the game ones this weekend. what's the common denominator? Every one of those was decided by double digits.
Yep.
Every single one was decided by double digits. It's not fun anymore. It's not fun to watch anymore. We watch our highlights and we make our judgments because we were brought up on a fundamental era. Yes, I'm cussing again.
Yep. I will say this. I tell this story all the time. Back in the day when the Bulls were really running wild, and actually even after that,
it was an event.
It was an event. My dad, my brother, and myself, because mom cooked for most of the week, we said, let us handle it. First game of the season, like clockwork. My brother and I are peeling potatoes. My dad's getting chicken ready. We had fried chicken mashed potatoes from scratch every first game of the season. Because that was our spectacle. That was like our occasion. A special occasion. There's no special occasion for the NBA anymore. Was it Christmas?
When opening night becomes earlier and earlier and earlier in October, when you're competing with the NFL, when you're competing with college football, when you're competing with playoff baseball.
And you're also dealing with the beginnings of college basketball, too.
And you're dealing with the beginnings of college basketball. There's a problem there. There's here I go cussing again, a fundamental problem. And again, to go back to the point that Victor and I brought up last week, lack of regional networks, lack of, what's the word I'm looking for? Availability.
Right.
The lack of availability, because if you knew that the Bulls were in the playoffs in the 80s and the 90s, where were the first two rounds? They were on Sports Channel.
Sports Channel.
And the more popular the Bulls and the more popular the Bulls got in the 80s, guess who stepped in? CBS.
Some were actually on WGN a couple times.
Once
they got to like semis and finals, NBC took over.
Listen, the usual hierarchy in the playoffs, and I'm using the 80s and the 90s as an example, and forgive the way I sound right now. I'm very stuffed up right now. The first two rounds were on Sports Channel.
Right.
Okay. If you were lucky enough to have TBS and TNT as part of your cable package, because TBS is to Atlanta what WGN is to Chicago.
Right.
If you were lucky enough to have that, you're golden.
Right.
Because at that time, from what I watched, and I know people can correct me on this because there's some that have watched it longer. TBS and TNT was in its infancy covering national games. Anyone familiar with TBS knows they're based out of where? Atlanta. So what's the team they covered the most? The Atlanta Hawks.
Right.
So the regional networks had the first two rounds of the playoffs. If the Bulls were lucky enough to make it to the conference finals, that's when CBS took over. And then beginning in the 90s, of course, it was NBC that took over. And here's the thing. NBC, CBS and NBC, up until 2002, did not split their coverage of the conference finals.
Right.
One team covered the Eastern Conference Finals. One announced team covered the Eastern Conference Finals, and an NBC's case, it was Marv Albert and Mike Fratello, and later on Marv Albert and Matt Guokas. And then in the West, it was Dick Enberg and Steve Snapper Jones. On CBS, the East Finals were covered by Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. And the Western Conference Finals was covered by Brent Musburger, the legendary Brent Musburger. I bring up all that to say this. The conference finals was what? Available. Because CBS until 1990. Well, first of all, let's give a shout to Chris Schenkel and ABC that covered it. The real ABC that covered it the first time up until memory serves me correct, 1974 when CBS took over. And then CBS had it from 1974 to 1990. And of course, we all know the NBA on NBC was born.
Right.
with all that lineage, what was the NBA during that time? There's a very key word, available.
Yeah.
Now you got all these dadgum streaming services that are putting a bigger hole in your pocket than cable is.
Yep.
And I know there are a lot of people that have cut the cord. Hell, Victor and I did it when we lived in Gary, Indiana. The problem, it boomeranged on us.
Right.
Especially when we wanted to watch White Sox games.
Because like you're gonna either gonna have to pay for this, or just be left out in the cold. Unless you have a good radio.
You're either gonna pay through the nose, or it's gonna come out of your ass. That's it, and that's all. Why is the NBA losing fans? Lack of availability is one. Lack of being able to afford it is another. And the third and the most important thing, the product on the floor sucks.
Yeah, because now
end of story. It blows.
Because it gets to the point of why are you paying so much for a product you don't even want to watch? You're not even interested.
Exactly.
I'll give you a perfect example.
Go for it.
It's a perfect example. So my friend and I were talking about things that used to be really big that are not big anymore. And one thing she brought up was movie theaters. She's like, movie theaters have gone downhill. In fact, something in Chicago, Snowman, is that the city is looking to close down Ford City. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Here's the thing. I said, think about it. Back in the day, movie theater tickets for a matinee ran you about $5.
If that.
And then you can go get $1.25, thing of popcorn, or for me and my nachos person, maybe $2. You have all the cheese you want, all the jalapenos you want, and for a date,
it was affordable.
Right, and for a date, that's probably what, maybe $25 for the whole night, or for the whole day. And then for the night, you might double it to like maybe $10 a ticket, but everything stays the same. Now, the last time I went was, I think I was watching Black Mass, which was the Johnny Depp movie. It was Joker. It was, and me and Bill actually went. It was $21 for a ticket, just for the tickets.
No, thank you.
And then it's enough for a small thing of nachos. It's another $10. You get two things of cheese
and
for another $2.
And I'll add this, because the last time my family and I went to a movie theater, I want to say it was 3 years ago, and that was an arm and two legs.
Right.
And the serving sizes at the theater got smaller and smaller and smaller.
And then to top it all off, most of the movies in the movie theater suck. So you start to you have to question, why would you pay out the nose for something you know you're not going to enjoy? It's the same thing with the NBA.
Same thing with the NBA. Great point.
I told you before, my father, he watched NBA during the Bulls era religiously. Didn't miss a game. Now, he doesn't watch NBA at all.
At all. And if my dad was here, he'd tell me the same thing. Hell, I can tell you my dad stopped, but not just because of his health going bad. My dad stopped watching the NBA about the same time I did, which was 2002.
And you question
the great screw job.
Yeah.
If y'all know, if y'all remember the Western Conference Finals in 2002.
Yep. You question of why would you subject yourself to paying a lot of money? And the funny thing is, the NBA back in the 90s didn't have any money woes.
Michael Jordan said that.
Animated available. So why is it now that everything's behind a bleep paywall? Is the NBA all of a sudden having money troubles?
So it's gonna cost you either way. So you know how I paid it back? Pulling my fandom. Because the NBA today will never be the same as it was when I was growing up, which was fun to watch, fundamentally sound, and available. I mean, hell, y'all already know my favorite announced team of all time, Jim Durham and Johnny Kerr.
Yep.
They made it fun.
I mean, Neil Funk and Stacey King
Neil Funk and Stacey King did. Look, and we met Stacey King.
Yes.
And he's as much of a clown off the air as he is on it. But that's who he is, and that's what drew you to Neil Funk and Stacey King.
And we love it. Yes.
That's what drew you to Jim Durham and Johnny Kerr, because Johnny Kerr was a nut.
And don't you find it a little bit interesting, a little bit funny, that after Derrick Rose ends up, leaving Chicago, is when all of a sudden the Bulls games are no longer available?
Yep. Today's NBA is a garbage fire full of dumpster pelicans.
Yep. Burning dumpster pelicans.
I will combine what Ryan McCarthy just said to what our brother Sensei Drew said best.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA today is a garbage fire full of dumpster pelicans, period. And it will and until Adam Silver gets off his ass and introduces fundamentals, hand checking, and actually fines teams for not playing defense,
mm-hmm.
the NBA will always and forever be a garbage fire full of dumpster pelicans.
I'll say this too. I understand that you want to keep players safe. I get that. You don't want to be barbaric. I
right.
get it.
You don't want that.
It gets to a point where if you're going to call a foul on someone just because they have a fever next to another player, that's a problem.
Yeah.
If passing gas to another player is going to cause a foul, you got a problem.
And a lot of people are not going to like what I'm going to say next, and this is where I'll close it off before we go to the second hour. A lot of people are not going to like this. But since 2002, there has been one player and one player only that I put all the blame for the ills of the NBA at its feet.
And why?
Because yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It is you now. It will forever be you. Forever and ever. Amen. It's your fault, LeBron. You've ruined the NBA. You've ruined the stake of fans in the NBA. And you just ruined sports in general by being you.
I will say this.
Dog.
Hemorrhoid. LEBRON. Hemorrhoid.
I'll say this about LeBron. LeBron is, in a sense, suffering the John Cena effect. What do I mean by that? When John Cena became the main focus of the WWE, the product had went down. Now, it may not all be his fault, but because he's the poster child, he got the brunt of the blame.
While I'm throwing the blame at him, and to make Victor laugh and Jen laugh while she's at work at the same time, this happened.
This moment of Bron's sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bron.
Loaded. If you really,
and I also know that I'm going to be told this:
use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. I said that. Use a troll.
Call me a troll, all you. Exactly.
I'll put it like this.
Call me a troll all you want. Call me every kind of hater yet you want. I know what's going on from the 1980s to the 1990s to 2000 with the great screw job in 2002 to now. It is fallen down the freaking toilet. Period.
I'll say this.
And until you improve the basics, don't even talk to me.
Yeah. I'll say this. I don't even think I can even put it at LeBron's feet. I put it at his fans' feet. LeBron is doing what he needs to do. I can't fault someone for that. What I can do is fault the slew of fans who do not pay attention to the game, who don't look at the ebbs and flows of the game, who only watches the highlights, who prompts up ESPN, who prompts up Facebook as their mecca.
And then they pop up on YouTube thinking they're the greatest thing to broadcasting, which gets on my nerve.
Nick Wrong, Ryan Hollins.
You know what? I'll borrow from Wise El Jefe. Now, do I encourage this? No. This is a joke that Wise came up with. But we just need to all line up, have Nick Wrong and Ryan Hollins and a few others that suck LeBron's all the time. We just need to line up and sock him in the face. That's a joke from Wise El Jefe. Anyway, that's Snowman's take. What's yours? Coming up after the break, dear Shane Lake, your Bruins suck.
He's not watching the Bruins. He's watching the Celtics. He don't care about the Bruins right now.
That's a lie. Hour 2 in a moment.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
I don't have a suggestion as to anything but keep the bitch. Keep her. If she does not,
Wow. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
How do you break down a whole group of guys in one sentence?
That.
Keep the bee. Thank you, Allie.
And she said that with a bone straight face. Then she saw us all cracking up.
Yep.
She said that with a straight face. 11:04, and we owe you an ID. This is Snowman in the Morning.
You're listening to WJKS-DB, your Hoosier Sports Home and Indiana Sports Hub play-by-play voice. You're listening to WHDR-DB, your radio home and voice of the Carolinas. You're listening to WBWS-DB, your new Chicago Sports Hub radio voice.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
You're listening to WQVZ, 1700 AM Mission Radio.
And Father Ashanti need to go to hell. That's what.
Here, bronsexuals.
Well, that game sucked. I'm on Alarm Island.
The is that?
Shut your mouth. You like that? I like that.
You fool! We need to see it.
Now get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
The utter blasphemy.
Mr. Cole Johnson.
I have a good question. That's a good question. What the is Alarm Island?
Ask Shane. He came up with the term.
I don't know if I'm too young to understand that or what. Like,
I'm on Alarm Island. Give me them cocks.
Sorry.
Here's what happened. We were doing our college picks one Thursday. Mm-hmm. Shane was trailing in the standings.
Yep.
And I think South Carolina was on the road. Of course, South Carolina is known as the Gamecocks. So, in order to attempt to make a comeback, he picked them and delivered that line.
And people
didn't
wonder
work.
why I call them the chickens for that reason.
Did the Gamecocks win that weekend?
Huh?
Did the Gamecocks win that weekend, though?
They got blown out.
Nope.
They got blown to smithereens.
But y'all got a meme out of it, so that's good too.
You know what? I think I'm going to turn those into videos. Turn our station breaks into videos. All right. We got something to do, and that is the Snowman SeatGeek Sports Board Cutie Empress update. We'll start in the NHL from Saturday. It was the Hurricanes over the Senators 2-0. Wild over the Stars 6-1. Game 2 is tonight. Yours truly will put the headset on for that. And the Flyers beat the Penguins.
Wait, excuse me, you're going to call what game?
I'll tell you in a minute. Yesterday, it was the Golden Knights doubling up the Mammoth 4-2. Avalanche over the Kings 2-1. In overtime, Droids Habs defeated the Lightning 4-3, and that was
Not
on the
my
road.
Habs. I'm going to give a big shout out to Rahil the Thrill, one of the senior writers for an NHL website. Rahil, that's Rahil's Habs, not my Habs.
That's your Habs today because you have the hat. And it was the Sabres.
What hat? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not wearing nothing.
You were this morning, and I have evidence. And to finish off the Sunday night, it was the Sabres over the Bruins in comeback fashion. They scored 4 unanswered goals before the Bruins put one in net. Final was 4-3. Tonight, the Ducks and the Oilers, Flyers and Penguins play game 2. Ducks and Oilers is game 1. Senators and Hurricanes, with the Hurricanes leading game 1-0 in that series. And, of course, the Wild and the Stars. That's 9:30 Eastern time. So old Snowman's going to be up a little bit late tonight. But I'm making sure that I get all the rest and research done that I can. The NBA playoffs began this past Saturday. It was the Nuggets over the T-Wolves, 116-105. Cavaliers over the Raptors, 126-113. It was the Knicks over the Hawks, 113-102. And the Lakers getting past Droids Rockets, 107-98. And I need to make a correction. That was the only game that was not decided in double digits. Yesterday, it was all blowouts, and you wonder why the NBA is falling down the toilet. Celtics over the Sixers, 123-91. Spurs over the Blazers, 111-98. The Thunder blow out Phoenix, 119-84. And the Magic with the upset of the weekend, they beat the Detroit Pistons, 112-101. NBA playoffs tonight. Timberwolves and Nuggets play game 2 at 10:30. Raptors and Cavaliers kick off the night at 7 Eastern. And the Hawks and the New York Knicks will play game 2 of their series. The Knicks lead that series 1-0. That game tonight is at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yesterday in the majors, Nats over the Giants 3-0. Cardinals beat the Astros 7-5 in 10. White Sox beat the Athletics 7-4. Mariners over the Rangers 5-2. The AL West is a cluster right now. Yes. The Yankees over the Royals 7-0 to complete the sweep in Kansas City. Blue Jays over the Diamondbacks 10-4. Pirates double up the Rays 6-3. It was the Cleveland Indians / Guardians over the Orioles 8-4. How'd we lose to those guys? The Fish beat the Brewers 5-3. Reds get 3 in the 10th, and they beat the Twins 7-4. The Cubs come back and beat the Mets, and the sorry Mets have now lost 11 in a row. 2-1 the final there. It was the Rockies over the world champion Dodgers 9-6. Padres over the Angels 2-1. Tigers beat the Red Sox 6-2. And the Philadelphia Phillies season is over. They lost to the Atlanta Braves, and the Braves sweep that series by a final of 4-2. Tonight, 6:10 sees the Astros travel to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. The Cardinals and the Marlins at 6:40, 6:45. The first place Braves travel to Washington to take on the Nationals. 9:38 sees the Blue Jays and the Angels. 9:40 sees the Athletics and the Mariners. Tigers and Red Sox already underway, and there's no score in the top of the first of that game. 6:40 sees the Reds and the Rays. Royals host the Orioles at 7:40. All times are Eastern. Also at 7:40, the Phillies and the Cubs go at it at Wrigley Field. And the Phillies, you have one job, okay? And the world champion Dodgers at 15-6 take on the Colorado Rockies. And that is your Snowman Scoreboard SeatGeek Cutie Empress update, brought to you by SeatGeek, where fans can fan. Use the code Snowman for $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek. Clark Goodlow is with us saying, "Go Sacramento A's." He says, "Great sports great sports commentary." Doggone, I can't talk today. He says, "Snowman and the wonderfully wicked humor." Gotta love it, man. Look, I don't come up with some of this stuff. The crew helps me with that. It was 3 past Swayman in the third period.
Yeah, baby.
And Caleb Hernandez, Dietz's pick of the week, because you know we have to draft this week. I'm not going to read that.
You got hit with that one.
Napoleon says the NBA is trash because of a certain. Napoleon Johnamite says the NBA is trash because of a certain false goat, which I will explain more on Wednesday. And you know McCarthy's comment, which started that whole rant, because today's NBA is like a garbage fire. It is unwatchable. Ain't that the truth?
It really is.
And people wonder why we do nothing. Most people do nothing but highlights. All right. NHL playoffs are in full swing.
Canes and 5.
And shut up.
Aho, gelada, not chamada, Canes and 5.
That's the Blake Hammer.
Troy, you're gonna need to move. Joy, you're gonna need to move your camera because we're coming to you next.
Man, can a man just play MLB The Show for once?
No, because you're working, you fool.
No, I'm not even on the clock. Listen, I am going to say this is one of the best first 7 games of the NHL playoffs I've seen in a long time.
That's why I'm doing hockey and not the NBA tonight. Let me get this read in for you. Let me get this read in for you, Joy. Joy's Power Play today is brought to you by Fanatics. Whatever team or sport that you represent them well using Fanatics. Use the code Snowman for $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of Fanatics, where fans can fan.
Deemed fit. Deemed for first responders.
There you go. There you go.
Already, he's been for a long time. The NBA equals Jets season.
Give me this button.
Damian Hernandez, take to the field, and it's out of here.
Let me. Where is that button I'm looking for? Damian, for your comment, and we all agree with you. Here you go. Droid, I tell you what, man. The first games of these playoffs in the NHL, awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I mean, it's
I
the
paid more
combination of
attention to
goaltending in this playoffs. It's the goaltending. I mean, I can probably, let's see, if I have the ball knowledge I say I do with hockey, I think I should be able to name every starter. So for the Anaheim Ducks, you got Lucas Dostal. For the Edmonton Oilers, I believe it's Tristan Jarry, the man they traded for out of Pittsburgh. For the Utah Mammoth, it's Karel Vejmelka. For the Vegas Golden Knights, I thought Aiden Hill, but it's actually Carter Hart. Because Aiden Hill is out with injury. Colorado, ooh, this one's always tough because it feels like Colorado's changing their goaltender every year. It's almost impossible to keep up with. Last I knew, it was Georgiev, a former Ranger. But I think also Scott Wedgwood is a Colorado Avalanche. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could totally be wrong about that. Avalanche goaltending is not my strong suit. We'll just say that. The Stars, it's Jake Ottinger. For the
who got blitzed on Saturday night.
The Minnesota Wild. I think they're going with the young rookie Jesper Wallstedt as their starting goaltender. Philip Gustafsson backing him up. I believe both of them are Swedish. The Swedish duo, one of the greater duos of goalies in the league right now. We miss, honestly, even as a Panthers fan, I miss the Jeremy Swayman, Linus Ullmark duo, probably just as much as Shane. Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie Blackwood. So I did get Wedgwood right. I do remember Wedgwood.
Right.
Oh, yeah, because Georgiev is in San Jose now, and they were eliminated. Okay. And the Los Angeles Kings, I think it's Peterson, but I may be wrong because I'm still stuck on Jonathan Quick in LA. So,
and a shout to the great Jonathan Quick, who retired.
He has retired officially from the NHL. One of the greatest careers in goaltending, up there with Marty Berger, Patty Waugh. What's his name? Eddie Belfour. You know, you got to put him up there.
Eddie the Eagle Belfour, Corey Crawford, and Jonathan.
I don't know if I'd say Corey Crawford is a Hall of Fame goaltender.
He's one.
A lot of that Chicago Blackhawks team was Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, and Duncan Keith.
But you said it yourself in the conversation we had recently. You may have all that firepower, but if you got no one in the net to back you up, then
doesn't matter.
Listen, he was a Tim Thomas, all right? He was mid enough to the point where the defense didn't have to do much.
Corey Crawford, I believe. I don't know if Corey Crawford will be elected to the Hall of Fame. That part I don't know, but Corey Crawford does.
His name is forever cemented on 2 cups, so it doesn't really matter if he makes the Hall of Fame or not. He technically is still in the Hall of Fame, just on the cup. Just so like I could say, oh yeah, Sergei Bobrovsky's in the Hall of Fame because his name's on the cup twice. Like it's this, you can say the same thing about any goaltender who's won 2 cups and not in the Hall of Fame.
The goalies in LA, according to Ryan McCoffey, are Darcy Kemper and Anton Forsberg.
Ooh, that's probably why. I haven't heard Darcy Kemper's name since he left Washington, so he's very under the radar goaltender, and I didn't really remember him, which is very bad because I remember if I remember Darcy Kemper's career, he was in Arizona for the longest time, and then he left to Washington, and then now he's in LA.
I need a favor from you, Droid.
What's that?
What is the best website where I can grab starters? Because I got
starters. Daily Faceoff is where I get all my starting lineups, but also keep an eye on Twitter. If the Panthers ever make the playoffs again, Jameson Olive is one of the best resources. Anybody who writes articles for the respective teams. So when you're going through articles on team websites, check the names, see if they've done lineup updates or starters in the past.
Right.
I personally, like an hour before the game, I check the app called Real, REAL, and they give me the starters, the expected starters, confirmed starters, etc.
Okay. Because the game, you asked me a question, I will answer it. The game I'm going to put my ears to tonight is Wild and Stars, and that's at 9.
Jesper Wallstedt versus Jay Gottinger. That's going to be a great matchup. Jay Gottinger's looking a bit shaky. The Minnesota Wild with Quinn Hughes and Kirill Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson Ek are looking absolutely amazing. It's my series to watch in the West next to Ducks Oilers. But other than that, it's the best series.
That is why I'm putting the headset on for that particular game and that particular
part again.
And then for the East, well, Carolina right now is Frederik Andersen and Brandon Bussey. And then in Ottawa, you got Linus Ullmark, and that's pretty much it. Any other name you say will not be as good as Linus Ullmark. So for Buffalo, it is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, Alex Lyon, and Colton Ellis. Alex Lyon was out with injury, so currently backing up UPL is Colton Ellis. For the Bruins, it's Jeremy Swayman and Jonas Korpisalo. It's going to be Swayman all series long. Even if the Bruins get eliminated, it's going to be you're not going to see any Korpisalo time.
Yeah, it's going to be Swayman for that entire series.
And then for the entirety, the rest of it, we'll say, the Lightning, Vasilevsky, we know that. I think Johansson or Johansson, some weird Jonah type name. He used to play for the Panthers, and he's terrible. So just hope Andrei Vasilevsky doesn't get injured, Tampa fans, or else you're done. You're done. Yeah, and then now in Montreal, I know all three goaltenders. It's Sam Montembeault, Jacob Fowler, and the starter Jakub Dolbash, the Czech goaltender, drafted out of Topeka, Kansas, but not from Topeka, Kansas. He's from the Czech Republic.
I love Dolbash.
Well, in terms of the first few games, it's everything I expected except Wild Dallas. That was not what I expected. I was telling you it was going to be a 6-game series. Dallas is going to win it. And right now it's looking like it's going to be a 5-game series and the Wild are going to win it.
It could be one of two ways. Given the way the Wild played Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, it could go one of two ways, and both of them are extreme. It could be either a sweep or a gentleman's sweep for Minnesota on one side, or if Dallas gets their act together tonight, it could go the distance.
It definitely could. If Dallas gets the win tonight, I definitely see this even going 7. That's going to be the big if Dallas can get in and get out with a win.
They have to split in Dallas, and they must win tonight. This is one of the earliest must wins I've seen in a long time. But if Dallas doesn't win tonight, they're in trouble.
My big question mark right now, Brian, is actually the Colorado Avalanche is my biggest question mark right now. Only beating the LA Kings by 1, I believe, because I believe it was a 2-1 final or 2-0 final.
2-1. That's not a question for me, because to borrow from Magic Johnson, whether you win by 1 or 21, you're still up 1-0. And the Avalanche defended the home ice. Now they're going to get a challenge. I believe they're going to get a challenge and a half from the Kings. But
listen, we've seen from the Oilers, the Kings do not go down easily. They will not bend the knee to anybody who is claimed better than them. That's always been their mentality. And I think Artemi Panarin and Anze Kopitar, his final season in the NHL, we will miss you, Anze. Once it's all playoffs is over, Anze Kopitar will officially hang up the skates. He has announced not too long back. And For those who have been growing up with the NHL for as long as I have, we all know Anze Kopitar is at least a top 10 center of all time. You can argue with me on that if you'd like.
Anze Kopitar, as long as I've been watching the NHL, is synonymous with the Kings. You cannot mention the Los Angeles Kings without mentioning Anze Kopitar or Jonathan Quick, who just recently retired.
There's three names in LA you cannot forget: Drew Doughty, Anze Kopitar, and Jonathan Quick. Those are the three, and Alec Martinez, if you really want to get specific, because the iconic Doc Emmerich call the Stanley Cup Martinez. Everybody remembers that call.
I do. I sat there and watched it. I sat there and watched it.
That was the last time New York fans had even a little bit of happiness.
Yep. The last time Ranger fans had any kind of happiness.
But I also want to take a peek at this Ottawa Senators series. Do you know what the first action of the Ottawa Senators series was?
And that was?
A fight.
A fight.
As soon as the puck dropped, the captains duked it out. Jordan Stahl and Brady Tkachuk threw down the gloves and started throwing punches. Entertaining, I'll tell you that. I mean, but my big question is actually on Frederik Andersen. Yes, he got a shutout, but he's been so shaky all year long, and I just can't see Frederik Andersen being that guy for the Canes. I think Ottawa maybe wins the next. If Ottawa wins the next two, you're going to see Andersen gets pulled out. Brandon Bussey will lead the Canes all the way to Game 6 and a win.
But will he get pulled if he wins Game 2 tonight?
If he wins Game 2 and he lets up less than 3 goals, he's in.
Mm-hmm.
But if he loses this game and loses the next game, I'm pulling Freddie Andersen out. I'm putting Brandon Bussey in. Brandon Bussey is infinitely the better goaltender over the two. I don't know why they started Frederik Andersen. I get it. Playoff Freddie. We love him, but still.
Well, we'll see. As Chris Berman says best, that is why they play the games.
Yes,
Pause for a break. When we come back on this day in sports history, and a lot of fans I know will remember what I'm going to talk about. And there's a little baseball to be talked about as Victor and I have some musings. Remember a show, Victor, we used to follow called Baseball Musings?
Yes, I do.
Let me quote this. Black men talking baseball? Shut up.
You better believe we do. And
because guess what, mother truckers? You thought I was going to say it. Black men talk baseball, and you're going to see it with Victor and Brian. Have a good day, y'all.
Back in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Because we take this job so serious.
I don't have a suggestion as to anything but keep the bitch. Keep her. If she does not,
Wow. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Lord have mercy.
And you're going to hear from her later this week. Allison Moran, Mike Drop Moran, will join us on Friday.
And folks,
John Leahy will join me for Mike to Mike. You'll see that Thursday morning. And one of these times we will have the great Ryan McCarthy on the show as well.
And folks, we are 4 days away from the NFL draft and the hilarity that will ensue there. And if you want to get some
if you want the real coverage, if you want the real coverage,
the laughs and everything, check out Snowman Multimedia for the NFL draft for the first round.
When we did the first round of the draft last year,
I watched it.
And Bay was with us.
I've watched it every single day.
Same.
To this point.
Same.
My friend was, don't say that. Don't get me up. Don't get me up.
Don't get beat up. And then he would mute him, and then he muted himself
and cuss.
And cussed. Exactly. Oh my gosh. 33 after the hour. And oh hell. This is a combination effort, folks. If I can find the darn thing. Which unfortunately I can't. But I'll do it. I don't have it.
Okay.
Because you know why? I don't have your element up here because I'm giving it a refresh.
Okay.
But I can do this. Black men don't talk baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Who told this lie?
Man, Victor and I have been talking baseball together since we've been friends.
Yep.
Now, I got a question from my beloved Chicago White Sox. And I'm going to need a button here. Hang tight.
Uh-oh.
And while I am pressing that button, we got everything. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? There's an update that I didn't do.
Oh.
And it comes out of San Francisco. And it goes like this.
Okay.
12th Pro Bowler Trent Williams put.
Oh, Trent Williams is saying put. Okay. Wouldn't expect him to go anywhere.
Two-year, $50 million extension with $37 million with $37 million guaranteed. 24 will be 24 will be due him. Instead of taking a $36.8 million cap hit, Trent Williams will wreck shop for the 49ers for another 2 seasons. The 37-year-old tackle who has flourished with San Francisco and the 49ers were not worried about getting a deal done. They were just trying to find the right figure. So Trent Williams, number 71, will stay with San Francisco. Nene.
Who was that aimed at? I wouldn't look
all these. You want listen? You want to know who that's aimed at? It's aimed at all these punks
To all
And yes, I said it correctly. I said it the way.
To all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters, shut up!
Shut up! I tell you a funny story. When I did the Bears 49ers game, Damien, bless his heart, was hanging out with us that night.
Okay.
And he threw all kinds of stuff at me to try to get me off my game. And that night, it normally doesn't work, but that was the second game last year. I said, nope, I'm not doing it. Then the game got started with a pick six, and I said, I better put the headset on. So I did.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco won by the skin of their ass.
Yes, they did.
And Damien, bless his heart, said, you know what? They actually showed me something. And I started laughing. And I know Damien meant it, and Damien and I go back and forth all the time, but I love the brother as a friend, okay? Love him dearly. And the next day, I sign off. My wife's teasing me, saying, oh, I think he's getting loud because his 49ers just won, because I didn't realize my daughter was asleep. Oops. Sorry about that, Sonia. But the next day, I hop on here, and Damien just goes, damn it. All right, Victor has some musings, and so do I, about our White Sox, even though they did win the series in Oakland. But we have some questions for you, Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the random musings of and this.
Dear Chicago White Sox, you took 2 games from the Athletics. That's great. That's great. You split with the Kansas City Royals. That is also good. But do me a favor. Please stop relying on the long ball.
Thank you.
The majority of your wins have come off to you guys going yard and leaving the block. Now, that is fine in the interim, but you have got to come back to what got you to the dance. And y'all haven't been to the dance since 2005.
Actually, 2021 when they won the division.
Oh, they won the division. Okay. Well, I meant the World Series.
Oh, the World Series. Yeah, that's 2005. Listen, I'll take it from here. You know what White Sox organization that you need so very badly, and that deficit is staring you in the face and you don't know it? What's the word I'm looking for? Pitching!
Yeah.
Because I hate to say this about my team, but let's call a spade a spade. You need pitching, and right now, even though the kids are young, and I understand that, you ain't got it.
You need a veteran arm. Somewhere you need a veteran arm, an established veteran arm, someone who can show poise. Because the last couple of games I have seen,
someone who can throw some innings, doggone it.
It's not
someone who can throw 6 innings.
Here's
Go ahead.
As a pitcher, that's my take. As a pitcher, you're gonna get rocked. The best pitchers, the great pitchers, are the ones that know they're gonna get rocked and can still keep throwing strikes, can still keep the game close. What I have seen in the past couple games is that when the Sox pitchers get rocked for a home run, they start shaking.
It messes them up. It messes them up. It messes them up, and it pains me to see it.
Yeah.
It pains me to see it. But there's something else that's bugging me besides the lack of pitching. And here I go cussing again.
Go ahead.
The lack of fundamentals, like 4 little letters that Victor and I speak of all the time. And those 4 letters are RISP. What's that stand for? Runners in scoring position.
It's crazy that how big analytics has gotten in MLB. That one has not been looked at.
I mean, doggone it. The master teacher is here. What's up, BGS? And since BGS is here, I'll greet him the way I greet him Saturday nights when I hang out with him and the bunch in the Coliseum. And look who's coming up. Thank you, Vince Scully. Matter of fact, to use his voice with the lack of runners and with the lack of hitting with runners in scoring position, BGS, this is for you. This is how I feel.
I am too old for this bull.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, after what I saw Saturday in back-to-back innings, the 10th and the 11th, because if anyone knows the updated rule, if a game goes extra innings, you are given a ghost runner.
Yeah, I heard
in
that.
Scoring position.
Yep.
If you're patient enough at the plate, you can have him walk home.
Yeah.
Seen it done.
Yeah. Which is weird, but I get it.
Pisses me off. Back-to-back innings. Runners in scoring position with no outs. Matter of fact, in the bottom of the 10th, the Oakland A's had the bases loaded with no outs in the bottom of the 10th, and the White Sox escaped. And the White Sox load the bases in the top of the 11th with no outs.
And nothing.
Here's the problem. Nothing cross the plate. That should have been at least a 3-run inning.
At least three.
And then 3 strikeouts to escape the jam.
That's worse.
Swinging, looking, swinging. If Napoleon, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Swinging, looking, swinging. Bases loaded, no outs.
And you do
none
that.
And you get nothing. You deserve to lose that game.
Not even get nothing because you can get under a ball, you can chop a ball,
Speaking of fundamentals, you know what? You just reminded me of something. Speaking of fundamentals, you know what they did not even try?
A bunt.
A squeeze.
Yep, a bunt.
A squeeze. At least try it.
You would think, especially if it's bases loaded and no outs. The first thing I would do is squeeze.
It's a squeeze. Lay down a squeeze.
Why not? Because you force them to either make a play at the plate,
or you force them to throw it to first base.
Right.
You have bases loaded, no outs, and extra innings. Put the pressure on the defense.
And again, if you really work at bunting, you can have it where you can get a little looper bunt over one of the players, get it to like at least to third base. Guess what? One guy's going home, and you probably don't even get the guy that's going to first.
You know something? I remember a squeeze that the Sox did in 2005 against Boston to clinch that series, to get an extra run. You know who the runner at third was? A.J. Pierzynski.
Yep.
Not a fast runner, but he flew down. He flew down the line, and Uribe put the squeeze down.
Yeah.
Up the first base line. You put the pressure on the defense. Now, I will say this in defense of the White Sox: this is a very young team.
This is a young team, but here's the problem I have with that. Is that there are certain things that you should have learned in Pee Wee. We've seen little leaguers do the squeeze correctly. Why can't the pros?
Because they're too afraid to do the squeeze. I'll give you that answer. They're too afraid to do it.
That's why I kind of like
said it.
That's why I kind of pause when I say yes, it is a very young team. They're going to go through growing pains. That I understand.
Yeah.
But the things that is something you learn in Pee Wee.
Yep, some of the fundamentals should be coming out right now. I agree with you, Victor. I totally agree with that. But the big part of me, it's like, this is a young team. I get that. And you want to, Victor just said it. You're a young team, but there's some stuff you could do that you learned in Pee Wee growing up, like a squeeze.
A squeeze.
I mean, dadgummit, get some
run down.
Well, they weren't. Well, they haven't been caught in the rundown yet.
I'm just saying, I'm saying in terms of fundamentals, I see teams who are messing up the rundown.
Mm-hmm.
How
the
do
New
you
York
mess
Mets?
this up?
The New York Mets, perhaps.
Sorry, Deeds.
I'm not. Sorry, 11 Deeds. Straight losses for the Mets, but this ain't about the Mets. This is about our White Sox.
Right.
Now, I will also grant them this. This is a long season.
Yes.
And they are, I want to say 2 to 3 games ahead of last year's pace.
And I'll say this also. I don't think the Sox started off that well in 2005.
They didn't.
So there's plenty of time to come back.
There's plenty of time to turn it around.
Yeah, I'm just like
there's
so
plenty of time to turn. There's plenty of time to turn it around. Just chip away at it. Right. Okay? The division, and I know I'm thinking far too ahead, but I don't care. The division can be had.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
The division can be had. What you need to do is start with your arms.
Yes.
And right now, our closer is former Philly Sir Anthony Dominguez. And I will say this bluntly, I don't trust him. Because he threw away a game against Kansas City.
Right. Well, you're not going to be perfect. But my thing is that you guys, the offense feeds the pitcher. The offense feeds the pitching. If you are a pitcher and your team goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, they're not looking to go out for that next inning. And then what makes it worse is if they actually start getting runs on the board, but nothing comes across, then your pitcher feels deflated because now he's like, I have to win this game on my own. Because my hitters are not hitting. They're not helping me.
It began with the first game of the year when we went to Milwaukee. It felt so much like we were actually going to do something that game because Chase Mydroff led that game off with a home run.
Yep.
The problem? He hasn't hit one since.
He led for the home run. The problem with that game is the Sox only scored the first run and the last run.
Milwaukee did the rest of the damage.
Exactly.
14 runs between the 2nd and the 8th inning for Milwaukee. Between the 2nd and the 8th inning for Milwaukee, they scored 14 runs.
14 runs.
As a matter of fact, it was between the 3rd and the 8th inning. Because we retired them in order. In the first and the second.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. You are correct. Absolutely.
We retired the Brewers 6 out of 8 batters in the first 2 innings. Nothing since.
And then they got to get they went and batted at will.
They batted around twice in that game. And that just plain pisses me off.
Yep.
But again, to allow 2 things. This is a very, very young team. And you got, in essence, 4 months to turn this thing around. I mean, now, how far will they turn it around? I don't know. Because I didn't expect them to compete as a whole because they are such a young team. So we got to allow that, right? I'm not looking at this thing through rose-colored glasses. I'm looking at this thing factually. Because there was this graphic that came up during one of the games I did that this was the 4th youngest team in baseball.
Yeah.
This is the 4th youngest team in baseball. So we got to allow that. But doggone it, get some runs. How did Harry Carey put it? Let's get some runs.
And again, I don't know if this is a discipline thing. I don't know if this is just a hitting thing. But it seems like whenever there's runners in scoring position, the Sox just flat out get nervous.
Hey,
like they just know something's going to go wrong.
You know what? I'll allow this. Given their recent history, happens to the best of them.
Yes.
Happens to the best of them. That's why they play 162 games.
Exactly.
I'll give them that. Easy. I'll give them that. That's why they play 100. That's why I play the 162 games. It's just frustrating to see that those two constants, lack of pitching and lack of run production.
Yes, manufacturing runs.
Say that again, please.
Manufacturing runs.
Manufacturing runs.
D said it a couple weeks ago while I was in the office. What is the one key thing for anyone who's coming at the bat? Get them on, get them over, get them in. It's that simple.
Yesterday and Friday, we saw flashes of that. And I love Murakami already, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be someone to watch. He's going to be someone
He's going to be the anchor of that offense. So now you've got that. Now that White Sox have got that anchor, Frank Thomas, hello.
What position is he? What position is Murakami? What position is Murakami?
First base.
So he may end up being this
Frank Thomas.
Team's first, either that or Paul
Konerko.
He might be this version of this team's version of Paul Konerko.
But the key is they have their anchor in the field. I do expect this team to gel at some point this season, even if it's going into next year.
Yes.
Give us something to look at. You know what I mean? Give us something to look forward to.
Right.
All right?
Give us something to believe in.
Give us something to look forward to, because I believe in this team. They're young, they're hungry, they play hard. It's just the fundamentals have to catch up with them.
Yeah. And next time we talk to Mr. Spivey, I want to ask him that too.
And you see that with every young team. You see that with every young team. The fundamentals as a team, and I'll put that in there. The fundamentals as a team have to catch up with them. Victor, your final thoughts.
And I would look directly at the coaching staff, from the manager to the hitting coach to the pitching coach. All you guys need to start taking some accountability in this play. These past couple games, you guys say, okay, I like the fact these guys can hit for power, but they need to start hitting for contact. I'm going to start doing some more squeeze drills, some more bunt drills. I'm going to start seeing these guys start pitching for the outside corner.
The days of Jose Contreras.
The days of Freddie Garcia.
Days of John Garland.
And Mark Burley.
I got a name for you. The days of Jack McDowell.
I mean, heck, go back to the days of Chris Sale at this point.
I'll go further back. The days of Lamar Hoyt.
Yes.
Floyd Bannister. If I remember that foursome that they had, I'll remember it later. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, these are the random music of
It's about that time.
And I got something for Jen.
Okay.
I got Empress, if you're listening, I got this for you. After what I saw on Saturday with the White Sox and the Athletics, after that 11th inning, all I can think of was
this is filth.
Yeah,
to have the bases loaded and no outs.
And no outs.
And no runs. Well, we'll finish with a little on this day. It is April 20th.
Earth
and
Day.
40 years ago today, this happened.
Michael on the drive across the lane. Turnaround shot. Got it. 63 for Jordan.
That was, of course, Michael Jordan's record-breaking day at the Boston Garden when he took the Bulls to 2 overtimes against what could possibly be known as the absolute greatest team ever assembled. Of course, the Bulls lost that game in double overtime, 135-131. That clip you just heard was courtesy of WMAQ and the late, great Jim Durham.
And again, that had nothing to do with Yo Kang.
No, it had everything to do with the King.
With the King.
Take that, bronzexuals. And I might have one tomorrow.
Oh, dear.
I don't want to, but something's been sticking. I might have to, because something's been sticking in my craw that in the form of a message that a bronzexual sent to me. I'll decide when to deal with it. But for now, have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
they're simply not big enough.
Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. Wild and Stars tonight, 8:30 is your pregame, 9:30 for the puck drop. So long, everybody. Tonight, Wild and Stars game 2 from Dallas. 8:30 is our pregame, 9:30 is our puck drop. So long, everybody.
Peace out.